Football is getting boring these days. Remember a while back, there was this advert released by Nike. You had Ibrahimovic, Ronaldo, Rooney, Neymar all playing football. And then this billionaire comes along and invents robotic AI people to replace footballers. And guess what he did? He used statistics and numbers to predict the game and make football boring. And less people started going to the games. And it took, remember, R9 had to come in and rearrange all these guys, and they had a massive match. And Neymar started doing loads of skills. Ronaldo took a free kick from outside the stadium or something like that. It was obviously a cartoon, obviously an animation. But that's exactly what is happening in today's football. Everyone nowadays is making systems and styles of play based on statistics and numbers, focusing on metrics such as distance covered and sprints, etc. And that is causing this game to get boring. Players like Pogba, Coutinho, Alexis Sanchez, Neymar, Hazard, Ozil have all disappeared in the last few years. Some of them retired, some of them banned, some of them injured, some of them just completely disappeared. No one knows where some of these players are. If you go back 5, 6 years, when these guys were at the peak of their footballing career, people would actually turn on the TV just to watch these kinds of players. There is not one player in the Premier League I can name who I turn on the TV on to watch. Just to watch them. Not one. There are no more proper ballers in the Premier League anymore. Mike Lone was also talking about this, but he was talking about it back in the day, like 20 years ago or something. I'm literally talking about it from 2016. Players like Dimitri Payet and Lester Mahrez. You don't get players like that anymore in today's football because every single team is trying to play the same basic, boring style. Teams nowadays are based on systems of play rather than utilizing the skills of key players. And here's the thing, when players these days try entertaining skills and try entertaining football, like Richarlison or like Anthony, they get absolutely slated and hammered by the media. Is this the kind of football you want? Everyone playing the same boring style of football. I cannot name one player in the Premier League who's a proper baller who I'd go, I want to watch football just to watch that player. Every single one of those kinds of players is no longer in the Premier League, is no longer playing football properly, because today's game just doesn't suit them. Have you realised why all these ballers have now suddenly disappeared over the last few years? All of them retiring, all of them getting injured, all of them playing in random leagues. And some people actually think it's a good thing. You cannot watch Premier League these days and think it has improved over the last few years. Here's the proof of that. Go and watch the last video released by Sky Sports of the freestyle skills of Premier League last season. They were absolutely dreadful. Boring. So boring. And I'm not even talking about it was fine 6, 7 years ago. Literally, when Ronaldo joined Man United, that season was entertaining football. Man United came sixth in the league, probably our worst ever season. But for me, I enjoyed it more than I have the last few years. And why is that? Because the Premier League was actually entertaining back then. There were certain teams that revolved around certain players. You'd see skillful players, you'd see players who were carefree on the pitch, and teams didn't base their style of play based on boring running stats. Other than Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and maybe Rafael Leao, there's no one in this new era of football that I will go and say, what a baller, I am excited to watch him play. The new era of football is going to become really boring. And it's not just because Ronaldo and Messi are retiring, but even the star players of this new generation, they aren't entertaining footballers. They get numbers, they do the running, they do all the pressing, but where are the skills? Where's the entertainment? Remember that football is an entertainment game, not a numbers game. If I wanted numbers, I'd go do math. Someone in football needs to step up and start basing their game on creative, stylish players, where defenders defend, goalkeepers save shots, strikers score goals, wingers are creative. Go back to the fundamentals of football because that was when football was interesting. Now people want goalkeepers who can create assists, strikers who can defend. I can say that if you want to base football based on running numbers and stats, you will start to breed the most boring version of football there has ever been. I have never been as disinterested in football as I am right now. If you were one of those people who criticise entertaining footballers, players like Anthony and Richarlison, go ahead, but just know you are one of those who are making football boring.